And when it doesn't happen next week, yell at me.
It's all good.
Um,
All right, okay. So I've just spent the last hour and a half. Oh, I guess if you were watching at all, I'm starting to.
I just came in for the last 10 minutes. I listened to the last track.
Oh,
Listen
okay.
to you talk about the Paul McCartney line, or hey, dear Prudence, hey Prudence.
Hey, Prudence.
That
Hey, Prudence.
I mean, you didn't tell the story that I think you have to tell about us
I
suffering. Yeah, because there's more to just that being the song of reference.
Hey, Prudence. The skies are blue over here. Sorry. So, um, okay. So when we were working on the album, there's a track called Raptor, which it's got this very cool bass line. Ba-doo doo, ba-doo
Very syncopated.
doo,
Yeah,
ba-doo ba-doo, bom bom. Okay,
good
it's
imitation.
right. I mean, it's exactly how it sounds. Um, the I know that all of a sudden a wild bass appeared. Um, Numpad, I'll check out. We transitioned into a ton of thoughts, and I will check out your track after we talk about total and complete bullshit. So
Yeah, it's really going to be bullshit this week. No,
good.
I don't know.
I
Maybe
think it's at its most it's peak content. Um, so Raptor has this great bass line, okay? And we've also
it's the core of the song too, because it's a very syncopated song, and the bass line is like the most important element that shines through for the how every song kind of has this one. I mean, maybe not every song. Most songs that I write tend to have a core star, and it's not continuously the same instrument. It's always different, but that song's star is the bass line.
and yes, it's just peak. So the yep. I know. I know what the dog's bollocks is. So the and then the thing is Raptor has technically like two bass parts playing at the same time too. So there's a mixing element where it has to compete against the ostinato.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So all of this is happening. I also think that Raptor is probably at least in fierce competition for the song that has been re-recorded, remixed, redone.
Given up
The
on, brought back, fed a little bit of steak, told bad, no, we forget about you, put in the dungeon, kind of trained back into existence. It's had a journey as long as Reek, I would say. If you're familiar with the Game of Thrones, I know you
we
are.
did chop its dick off at one
Okay.
point.
Yeah, there's been a whole, you hate Raptor, you love Raptor, you want to, it's the best song, it's the worst song. But anyway, we listened to Dear Prudence baseline. We listened to a bunch of other Beatles tracks, but that I think was our main focused one.
That was the one.
And we said, why is it not that?
And we
And
were
we did a bunch of research, and we decided it wasn't that because it wasn't recorded on a Rickenbacker.
well, there
So
was the
yeah.
Rickenbacker, and then also the way that we captured it. We had to
Yeah.
yes. So
So we yeah, there were two parts, right? It was like the way it was captured and the fact it wasn't a Rickenbacker. So I bought a Rickenbacker with the intention of returning it to Guitar Center after we recorded it, because a Rickenbacker is really expensive. And one day I would like to own one, and I have threatened to actually pull the trigger on buying one many times, but this time I bought it and returned it just to record this specific song.
yes.
I don't know if this could get me in trouble with Guitar Center for saying so. No one send this to Guitar Center. I think they're bankrupt now anyway. Maybe because of actions like mine.
You contributed a small part. Every helping hand helps.
So we bought a Rickenbacker.
Yes.
For recording the song, and we started recording it, and then specifically tried to capture it in the same way as the Beatles had.
Yeah. Yeah, Mason, we are talking about bass, but I mean, mostly you missed nothing. We're just talking about how we tracked a song. I'll summarize. that's that's what I'm here for. I'm here to just retread on exactly what we've been talking about. So we recorded this song many times, and then we were in the final mix at one point. And
Final
we
mix number 20, of
uh-huh.
course.
And um we started pulling in reference tracks. Uh and
Final mix A2. Real. Never bounce again. Sorry.
we started pulling in reference tracks, and we pulled up Dear Prudence, which I mentioned earlier. And we were just like, shit, that bass line is really good and really important for the track, and we really want to get this same. I mean, we're also like, as far as reference tracks, we were like, okay, Dear Prudence, and also Closer by 9 Inch Nails, and also we're just like, well, we want all. It's all over the place.
It's all of these vibes in one, and it has to be as good as all of them, and it definitely isn't right now. So we have to start over again
Uh-huh.
until it
So,
is.
yep. So at this point, we've retracked the drums once or twice or thrice. And then it's like, okay, we need to redo the bass, and we need to record it in a whole new way. And we also need a whole new bass, because how else are we going to do it? So Summer
Well, because
bought,
we tried different things with different strings on the same bass, and dead strings and more alive strings, and using, you know, using different amps and different reamping techniques, and yeah, we just decided we need to buy a Rickenbacker. I decided I need to buy a Rickenbacker.
so we then bought this Rickenbacker and re-recorded it, but set up so there's like the big live room, and we yeah, classic
No.
Beatles one side bass lines.
It was in the middle.
Dead center.
That's
Uh but
was mono.
we wound up stacking like a PA speaker on top of like a shitty Fender Rumble, I think.
Mhm.
And then we
Mhm.
used that to kind of like split and get like full tone and mid tone, and then DI'd it, and captured all of those. And then so it's like those three bass takes combined and then shoved into a Fairchild, to get those Beatlesy vibes.
And it turned out great.
It did
And I
turn out
returned
great.
that bass.
Yes. Yes,
And
we did.
it's gonna be on an album at some point.
Will be on an album at some point. So at some point, this album
I swear.
will exist.
I swear it's waiting. It's waiting patiently in my iTunes.
Oh, so Summer, we're about to do. Okay, so this is a ton of thoughts where Summer ambushes me with
Yeah,
something
it's
that I am absolutely not prepared for, and then we talk
once a
about.
week I interrupt this very like cohesive, cogent stream that always has the same uh goals, and I just make it about something entirely different, and I really throw a wrench in the entire stream, and generally people are upset that they can't get their mix reviewed.
We
So
generally
welcome
upset
to
somebody.
a ton of thoughts slash generally just upsetting somebody. I'm sorry. Sometimes it's a someone who has some sort of beef with Venmo. There's been a few. It's just sometimes it's someone who doesn't know what a hot tub is, and that's very fine. And I think we all learned something together, um, in that specific scenario. What are you reading? Do you have an
No, I
email?
was trying to make something happen, and I can't. So I guess I'm just
What
gonna
was
have
going to
to.
happen?
Uh, I don't know. How much time should I waste? Should I waste like a minute?
Well, what is the nature? Can you give me like a teaser, or is
It's a
that
funny
ruining the thing that
picture.
was supposed to happen? What?
It's a funny picture.
It's a funny picture.
Uh huh.
Okay, well, you could continue to search for it while I introduce the topic.
Okay,
Would you
cool.
be able
So
to pay attention? Do you have the dual brain?
I've got a pretty good brain. Oh,
It's a tree.
well, that's not the right picture.
Well, that was certainly worth it.
Yeah, it is. That fourth is
Is
right.
that what it is?
There's a
Did
really
they?
good emote, and I can't make it happen right now because of
That's
my
what you're trying to
OBS
do.
layout. I'm not
Okay.
gonna do it. Tell me what's up.
All right. This week. It's a it's a little bit less related to music, and it's a little more like there's some personal stuff going on, and I want to explore the topic that is the difference between redefining yourself and refining yourself. Okay? And I guess originally this has been a thought that has been going through my head because of being like sort of upset with a friend who I feel continuously is redefining themselves without refining themselves. Um and and I guess it is turned inward throughout the day as I think about the difference between those two things. Okay?
I'm absolutely down. I will remind you that I do record these for posterity and put them on the internet.
I know, trust me. I'm not going anywhere negative with this. Uh that's why the point is how it has turned inward and the difference between the two. I definitely don't want to drag anyone unreasonably into this
We're not going to drag
thought
anyone.
hole.
We've I've been trying to
But
figure out how to. I think we've been trying to figure out how to get a couple of beefs started on stream, but I think we've really just narrowed it down to Steven Slate.
what do we have against Stephen Slate?
Absolutely nothing.
I use those samples on very occasion.
Oh,
The most occasional occasion.
I think that all of the Slate products are wonderful, and I find Steven Slate to be like a wonderful ambassador for music technology. It's just we thought it'd be fun.
All right, so fuck Stephen Slate and his. Can I say fuck? Sorry.
Oh, we can definitely say fuck.
Okay, fuck Stephen Slate and his lovely sample packs that we all use, but would wish that we didn't use because we wish we could get that, you know, that ourselves. Mainly, I don't. I'd say
Beef
on occasion,
started.
truly. But anyway, all right. So the topic at hand: the difference between redefining yourself versus refining yourself. Okay. And it's kind of like one of these broad things that it's like, all right, why are we even going down this? What is the point of comparing these words? And I guess it's just like the reason it's brought up in my head is that I think that people these days are pretty into redefining themselves and that can be a powerful feeling, but it's also addictive because you get a lot of support and you get a lot of people saying like, wow, happy for you, and like that's so great. And um big changes can be great, but when they are happening constantly instead of incremental changes, they often are not maintained. I guess that's where I'm going with this. And I went to see my parents recently because I've been going to see them outdoors during the pandemic, but only outdoors. I haven't been going into the house because they're a little older, and
I do
I'm
believe you
worried.
have been peeing in your parents' yard.
I've been Thanks for blowing my spot. I have been going to the suburbs and peeing in the yard, hoping that no neighbor reports me for indecent exposure or whatever my punishment would be. Um, Out of fear of killing my parents. I probably don't have COVID. I feel okay, but I'm quite young and I live with 6 people and they all do stuff and I could have gotten it anytime and not known it. It's possible. So, whatever.
Oh,
I'm
no
peeing in
judgment.
the
I think
yard.
you've been doing a hero's pee. So
Thank you.
this is more
I
like
want that because every time it's a fight where it's like, please don't go pee in the yard and again, and I go like, I'm trying to
I'm
save your
saving
life.
your life.
And who knows? It's I've been trying to do the hero's pee in the yard. Whatever. Anyway, they both got their second shot. It's been enough time now. And I've been like, okay, I'm going to go in the house and not pee in the yard. We're going to have a normal indoor hangout because it's Michigan, so it's really cold right now. Actually, it's really nice today, but whatever. It's been really cold. Oh, the true butthole curtain. That's when Guinness and I switch, and I'm like, all right, you watch for me now. Hold up the towel, Guinness. Uh, so, what was I talking about? Oh, yeah. Redefining yourself versus refining yourself. Okay, so my dad found out he has like, precursors to health things that mean he has to change his diet. Like could become extremely serious, and he is getting older, and he has to make a serious change in his diet, or else it's going to have bad consequences fairly immediately.
Is it the
So we were talking about this, and we were talking about how he is one of the changes among like many others and what food he's eating is about intermittent fasting, which a bunch of people are into these days. It's a big trend, but it's also
hot
good
topic?
for you. And anyway, so he's talking about how he has it down to whatever window. I think it was like an 8-hour window, but he could get it down to a 4-hour window. And I said, like, maybe over time if you want to do that, but I think that if you do that right away, it's not an incremental change and you will fall off the wagon. And my mom immediately said, yeah, like a week ago he tried to make some like really intense change, and he was good for a week, and then he fell off the wagon so hard it was worse than when he was just eating whatever he wanted before. He ate an entire box of Cheez-Its, which is like super off limits for the diet he's trying to follow. And my mom was like, anyway, the point is it's getting back to refining yourself versus redefining yourself. So like my dad's trying to redefine himself as someone who follows these uh, dietary restrictions and these, healthy eating habits. And I was pushing for him to try to refine his habits that he already has, and cultivate them slowly into a healthier habit. And I guess like that goes into, because I guess I have these broad thoughts, and then I'm trying to bring them to a degree back to music, in that like that is sort of the purpose of this stream. And so like for me, redefining versus refining, a lot of that has to do with practice routines. And I can go down practice binges where I practice a crazy amount every day for weeks at a time, and then not touch an instrument for a while. And I know that my healthiest state of mind in general is when I'm practicing like an hour a day, at least. And I can practice a little more, I can practice a little less, but when I start practicing none and then practicing crazy amounts every day, which I do a lot, um, it's it's a it's definitely being like, I'm gonna redefine myself. I'm the forever practicer. I'm the always practicer. And especially you and I being raised in very classical households, we have this weird like forever desire to be the forever practicer, even though clearly
Almost like a
not.
debilitating mental illness.
I would say exactly like a debilitating
Hell
mental
yeah.
illness. It's this weird guilt when you don't. It's a uh
If I don't practice for like 24 hours, my hands start to literally feel weird. I start to feel like my muscle memory is atrophying, and because I have done bad. And if I don't touch the instrument, then I feel my hands withering away. So, you know,
yeah. But
it's
then
cool
I
stuff.
guess, do you do similar things? Do you go into binges where you practice like crazy and then get totally out of it?
Not since I just like blasted away uh all my classical brain. I'd say that my last So my last practice binge was doing the Bach Chaconne, which is
Oh, that was a famous time of your life.
it was a famous time.
Right.
Um, it's considered like, if not the hardest, one of the hardest solo violin pieces you can do.
Yeah.
And so what I said to myself was, okay, I'm going to climb Classical Mountain and beat Classical Mountain so that I can I don't want to perform it. I don't want to record it. I'm not going to be a famous classical player because it's not going to happen. It's not in the cards, but I want to be able to say that I did this thing so that I
Right.
can then basically take on a new magical persona in which I have killed my past so that it does not affect me moving forward. It
Yes.
was actually like, I'd say that is the exactly what I did. So
Hmm.
I practiced the Chaconne 12 hours a day, every single day for like 4 months. Just like Chaconne, Chaconne, Chaconne. All I will do is become the Chaconne.
Uh,
Chaconne is me. I am Chaconne. Chaconne. So
yeah.
I did that. I lived
Uh-huh.
that. I played it all the way through for my mentor, and they were like, "Yeah, you did it. You played the Chaconne." And I was like, "Great. Let's
Is
never
that how you
touch."
decided you were done? You performed it for the mentor?
Yeah,
He was like, "Yes,
yeah.
you
And
have Chaconne."
I have Chaconne, and then I was like, "Cool. Can we never do classical music again?" And he was like, "Yeah. I mean, you never had to in the first place. You kind of did this to yourself." And I was like, "Fair."
You were like, "Oh, but I did. I
Yeah.
have."
It was only for me. I'm an idiot. So but I did it, and then I found that since then, because it was like a purposeful, like, I don't this is a part of me that is inescapable to a degree. Like,
Mhm.
I play an instrument that is designed for classical music. I have all of
We were
this.
both raised in classical intense households as well, which I think is important to the
Yes.
yeah.
There would be no love given if no practice made. So, like, there's just, it's all wrapped up in all of this stuff, okay? And I cannot make that not be my existence. But if I
Can't.
can ritualize it into a actual, like, graduatable thing, then I can, to a degree, kill the past. So,
Wait,
it
so you like graduated from classical high school
yeah,
by
I
learning the Chaconne. It was like I can go to like choose what I want to do with my life now.
yeah, but not just that. It was like I graduated from like a certain part of my personal, which is, I guess, the difference between refining and redefining. I would say that this is a moment in which I redefined myself, but quite purposefully,
Right.
because there are. But the decision to do it comes from like a series of refinements or self reflections. Like, these are inescapable thoughts about what my personality is, what like all history is up to this point, what I fear this leads to in the future, etc.,
Mhm.
etc., etc. Study, 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 practice, 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 practice. And now I have to redefine and pivot based off of this like contextual practice.
Yeah.
So,
Does a successful redefine because I kind of like I got spinning on this because of like what I would consider unsuccessful redefines um that are out of my control in of other people. And what does a successful redefine require a buildup of refining?
yes,
Yeah.
I think so. I
I
think that
think
it doesn't.
yeah.
I think that it is like, that's to kind of answer the big question. I think that the purpose of refining can lead to, but if you because it's the opposite. Like, I know that the easy thing is to go like, which I totally agree with. If you just go like, starting tomorrow, I'm gonna be this.
Right. Yeah.
That doesn't work. But at the same time, if you're just constantly refining without an actual goal of like, I am going to refine so that I can become this, then that's just as aimless. Then that's,
Totally.
yeah.
That's a really good point. But I'm trying to think of an example of that. Like what is a just refining forever? Like I think we all know someone or have ourselves
Going to
gone on
grad school
redefine
over and
mode.
over and over again.
What'd you say?
Going to grad school over and over and over again.
Ah, okay. All right.
Something
So
like
just a
that.
constantly gradual working at a thing without a goal. Yeah, no, that actually is a great example. It's just like
Pursuing middle
pursuing
management.
mhm. Pursuing, I mean, which could be fine if there was a goal, but often people are doing on an aimless track without fully thinking through other than that like this should lead somewhere. It's supposed to be good. People like say that's great when I say that's what I'm working on at like a dinner party.
They approve.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess as I said, this thought that started off in relation to someone else led more inward throughout the day, okay? Which is more the point of this stream. So, uh inwardly when I was like, all right, well what do I want to refine to the point that it eventually redefines, which I think is a good like observation that you made is like the two can should be tied when they have to have an eventual tie.
Yes.
And I think I want to refine like the gratitude and generosity centers of my brain. Like I think I'm okay at being verbally uh oh, did I freeze?
Only for a split second.
I think I'm okay at being verbally uh expressing my gratitude and for people and my uh appreciation for them, but I don't think that I'm quite as like actionable on that as I would like to be. And I guess this is born out of thinking like I'm annoyed at someone else right now. I'm annoyed at someone else for this thing that I'm criticizing as a thing that is like I'm as though I'm not guilty of it too, right? So I guess because someone else's changes are entirely out of my hands and there's truly nothing I can
This is the
affect.
definition of other people.
Yes,
Yes.
that darn definition of other people outside of me. As much as I wish it were otherwise, there are those other people. No, I'm glad there are other people. It's a bummer that I can't have an effect on the ones that I would like to. But given that that is you know, how it is. What about myself would I like to be refining to the with the goal of redefining? So I guess I bring this up because this has been the trajectory of today's thoughts, and I had a bunch of other things I thought about talking about, but this, it's at the tip of the brain, which is a
Fresh on your brain.
how I have
Uh-huh.
how I've decided what the topic's going to be for each week. So yeah, I guess maybe I'm doing the redefining thing of making uh a public announcement that I'm trying to work on this thing to force myself to be more accountable to this thing that I have decided I'm going to work on. And I guess you can hold me accountable by yelling at me when I don't do that.
Uh, you keep referencing like, Scott, yell at me the way that you do, as
Mhm.
if a core part of the way that we interact with each other is me yelling at you, which
Mhm,
I
mhm.
do want to I do want to point out. I don't think that's ever happened.
Oh, you you yelling at me.
Don't
No, no. I
think
guess
so.
it's more like it's me being like, here's an invitation to yell at me. And by yelling at me is open, but I do appreciate that typically, as opposed to yelling at me, you go, you just get that stern, like, you said this thing, and I go like, yes, this is equivalent to yelling at me.
Yeah, I think that's basically what happens. Let's see. I think occasionally I'm stern, and we also occasionally just quibble over something entirely meaningless, and we get like pissy at each other.
It's
That's how we really
usually
keep each other in check.
an incredibly specific detail of a song that is like literally a frequency. Like it's like I don't like 4.5K on the thing that comes in for 3 seconds at
Oh
this
yeah,
midsection. And you say it has to live there though, because it's really bare in other places. And I say, well, texturally, I don't like it on that sound alone. And you say, well, as a zoomed out mix.
uh-huh.
And it's usually what I think is our individual strengths, which is usually I am the micro and you are the macro. And I go,
They
and that,
fight.
yeah, that's usually
That's
any
the fight.
argument we've ever gotten has been that, or the one other argument that occurs. It's that, or it's that I didn't give you the sheet music for a thing and I try to make you do it by ear. That's the second
Or
argument.
you send me sheet music that has your
Mm, the sheet
shh.
music's wrong. And I
Yeah.
go, just, it goes like this, and I hum it, and you're like, I hate you, just make the sheet music right.
Yeah. That's how we fight. And yes,
Um,
fourth is
two,
fucking stoked on this segment.
yeah, heck yeah. I resent a clean file.
So I think I was seeing that earlier. It's they resent a clean file.
What was it before? Was it dirty? Fourth
Ba
calling
boom.
gets me.
Summer's a bit of a even
Tenaciously
notorious.
scattered.
Yeah, yeah. I once watched Summer. Okay, this is something. I guess this is I okay. As far as like maybe a thing to refine. Okay,
Mm.
is the burrito on a leash.
See, I actually am proud of that though. Like that's not something I'm trying to refine about, but go ahead. I mean, I'm open. I'm trying to be open to suggestions.
Okay, I guess I don't mind that you save food. It's when okay, Summer will
Reduce,
eat.
use, recycle.
It might be a lot what it sounds like because we'll go on tour and we'll live in a van and you buy food in Los Angeles and then you got to eat that food in Albuquerque or in this specific case Reno.
Why would you waste perfectly good food?
Summer is constantly eating old ass nasty food.
I have trained my stomach. It
I,
is very strong.
I mean, you have shockingly
Let's
good.
review who has gotten food poisoning on tour, and it is not me.
Oh, it's me. It's always me. But it's I
What I'm
fully
saying,
feel
put more burritos on leashes. You'll get a stronger stomach.
I feel like it is the cruel irony in which I am being punished for your actions cosmically.
It was like someone must cosmically get food poisoning,
Uh-huh.
and so it was like eeny, meeny, miny, mo, and you were struck. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, you can tell that this specific story was pretty incredible. We were on a bridge
Oh,
between New
I
York and New Jersey.
I blew up your pee spot. You could go ahead and
You blew up my pee spot?
your yard pissing.
Oh, right.
I blew you up earlier. You could blow me up.
Yeah, we're all in a van, and you know, I'm known for my leash burritos,
Uh-huh.
and you know how some people have, you know, children on a leash. I have burritos on a leash, you know, because I'm 27 and I gotta have something to take care of.
Oh, I mean, you would have
And
been like 24 at this point.
I was 24 and I needed something to take care of. Whatever age.
So we're in New York
I have
and
a, you know, it's the motherly instinct, and it gets really put into tour food for me.
so,
Gotta nurse it. I gotta keep it around. What if I get hungry later?
the thing
Very
is that
nothing's worse. I get hangry. That's also part
you
of it. I have
you
a
do get
hangry
hangry.
problem, and so I know I want to preempt the possible hangry. You know, I'm trying to save everyone else.
So what
It's not
happens?
always a burrito. It's
It's
not
always a
always a
fucking
burrito.
burrito.
It changes form. The joke is burrito on a leash, but you know, other things have found themselves on my leashes.
Old ass chicken. Like, but I mean, what it is like you'll order something a few days before and you'll eat like a quarter of it, and then you'll go like, the rest of
I
this is.
savor things. I'm a slow, you know, that's just how I've always been. I savor things over time, you know?
Right. And so I mean, like, I used to. I'm a bit of a. I like to go to a town and like find like a cool spot that like
I do too. I do too.
we'll talk about Reno. I like to get to the Reno is the worst.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I like
Anyway, but here's the thing. Okay, here's me blowing up Scott's pea spot though, because as much as I get made fun of for being the queen of burrito on a leash, I have never gotten food poisoning on tour. However, Scott one morning ate a breakfast that one would consider incredibly safe,
it was fucking potatoes. It was like potatoes and
and
veggies.
eggs
Yeah.
or something. Yeah, potatoes, veggies, eggs, and I got some sketchy thing from a bodega, and I gobbled it down, and everyone looked at me like, "Why are you eating this sketchy thing?" And I said, and then we get in the car and we go from Manhattan to New Jersey,
Uh-huh.
and we're on this bridge, and it's a long bridge, and it's trafficy, like super backed up. We're not moving.
I mean, the
And
existential horribleness of it is it's not a very long bridge. It's just
wasn't that long? It just backed
it's
up.
it's just backed up. It's just
Yeah, maybe I
bumper to
remember
bumper.
it as long because I was like, we'll never make it.
Mm-hmm.
And that was pretty much, I mean, you can imagine what comes from there. Scott is having some issues.
It's not great.
The issues are building up. And there's a moment where we're wondering whether he must leave the vehicle and do something off of a bridge, which many people watching that will never be unseen. And I mean, to be fair, I don't think you ended up having to go there, but we were
Oh,
incredibly
it was a
close.
photo finish.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
as soon as we got off the bridge, it wasn't like, it was like, where's the spot? Oh, you're gonna get a master.
That's cool.
That's great.
Thanks for the lulls. Yes, I did almost shit my pants in that van. It was close. It was a close one,
And
Summer.
then we just destroyed a poor local, like the next town we were, because there was like a stop to help Scott out. And then we get to the town we're gonna play, and we go to a place for dinner. And I think I was like, great, it's dinner time. And I go and order something, and no one else wants to order anything. Everyone just like is like turns in the bathroom, just destruction. And the people working there are just like, are you serious? And I'm just like, I'm so sorry about my embarrassing friends and their issues. I'm just gonna just nurse this next burrito for my leash, you
Right,
know?
because we just walked in, we're like, we'll buy something. We'll buy a water.
Yeah, there were many waters purchased and maybe like a few like post destruction apology purchases.
Yeah, it's good stuff. So, um, everyone in chat feels my pain. So,
They just got to get more into nursing their several day old food.
so we are in Reno, and it's a cute little town, and we're in the cute little downtown. It's a cute little town. It is the definition of
Reno,
it was the definition of a cute little town.
it was pretty cute.
It was very cute.
The
Okay.
place we went to eat was incredibly cute. I regret this night, or day, whatever it was. I do regret what you're,
Massively
thing
cute.
that happened.
We load into the venue and we're like, okay, let's go walk around and find a nice, cute place to eat. And Summer is like, I mean, I'll go on a walk, but I've got this literally days old burrito. And I'm just going to kind of munch on this. And it's just this
To
old,
be fair, I was
skank-ass
threatened that we're gonna
burrito.
throw the burrito out if you don't eat it. So I was like, fine, I'm gonna eat the burrito.
Oh,
I
yeah.
thought we were gonna go to like a quick, like, not sit in a place. I thought you guys were gonna get like carry out, and I was gonna eat my old burrito.
Right.
You know,
Right.
that I
It
had
was
a commitment to at this point because the burrito's looking at me like,
it was out of
dude, you've been
spite.
taking me across the country, and I'm like,
We
I
were
know
going to
burrito.
throw it
I'm
away.
loving
Yeah. Okay. It was really gross. So we go and we find this we're walking around and then there's this cute I think it's just called El Salvador and it's an El Salvadorian restaurant.
it was
And
really
it's so cute. We
Yeah.
walk in and the man who like owns and runs the place, he was like, "Hello, thank you for coming to my restaurant that I love, and I handcraft every single meal with precision and care and love. Here's some stuff. Are you a band? You look like a band." And we were like, "We are a band." And he was like, "Hooray, I love music. Everything is wonderful about this group of people. I'm so happy you've come to my restaurant to eat my food and enjoy my company, and I will be paying a lot of attention to you because I've decided that I love you." And we were like, sweet. My tone? Sorry.
There's something coming.
Well, we order
you can
food
see.
and it's
Yeah.
wonderful. And the dude is like bringing us like he brings everything to us just like by like everything is handcrafted. It's all in like cute little baskets and like dishes and it's like a whole like 7-course meal. And
I must reiterate, I did not think we were going to find this place. I didn't know. I thought we were going to get quick carry out from somewhere and walk around. And now we're sitting at this place and I have my leash burrito and everyone is ordering and this man's really nice and everything's like very
Summer has this leash burrito and is hiding it under the table the entire time. And the nice man continues to like personally engage with us at every single moment. And Summer is hiding this burrito and we're all eating this like
I don't want to offend him.
well,
I know it's horrifying.
he keeps coming up and we're all like everyone is eating except for Summer and he's like, "Can I get you something? I would really love to make." And you're like, "No, I'm okay." And then you're just sneaking bites of this rancid, gross, ancient burrito in front like while the nice man is trying to be nice. Which if you wanted to refine your gratitude.
Right. Maybe cut down on, I mean, okay. So basically, I defend my saving of my leash burritos as a
It's
reduction in the garbage load, and I value food, and I don't want it to go to waste. However, perhaps if this situation occurred again, I should throw out the burrito and adapt to the unexpected change in plans as far as getting carry out and walking around. And now we're at this place, and there's this nice man, and I feel like I'm a bad person, but I've already committed this far, and there was just no turning back. And yeah, I ate that burrito. I ate that burrito.
could be refined.
Mm. But that's what I'm like, aw,
Look at that guy.
oh, look at that guy. Man, you didn't even need me to block him.
Didn't need it today
He's
so
being
far.
perfect. Right. Is Mercury watching dog TV right now?
Absolutely.
Wow.
This is just what she
an
does
angel.
now.
Oh, hey, I mean, next week we might have a special Atonuv Thoughts where we're in the same room.
It could have. I mean, I think it's gonna happen. I don't know if it's gonna. You might have to like be downstairs. I was trying to think about how it would work, but like, my camera's got like the narrow depth of focus.
Right.
You might
What if I am like behind you and we're back to back? We both have headphones on.
Okay.
And I can like reach behind me and like poke you.
We could spend
pull
like
your hair.
a day. We could spend a day figuring out how to wire that up.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a very hostage situation. Yeah, what if we'll come up with something good for it. Yeah. Or I can go out in the woods because surrounding your place there's
I think it's going to be kind of warm too.
So maybe we'll banish me to the woods. Maybe we'll do something. Maybe we'll go super hostage situation. You blindfold me. You leave me in the woods, and I just am, calling in from an unknown location to both myself and everyone else, but you.
That feels pretty good. That feels. Again, you really have to watch 24-Hour Party People.
Oh, that's that movie.
Yeah.
That's that movie that you always bring up that I continue to not watch. I think you tried to make me watch that, and I fell asleep.
Nope,
Is that correct?
Not that one.
Oh.
I don't think you.
What did I fall asleep to?
Everything.
When I was a kid, my parents would like start watching a movie with me, and they would fall asleep, and I would be like, "What is wrong with you? Like, are you kidding me? This is the most exciting thing in the world. Like, it's a movie. Someone put so much time. Many people put so much time into making this, and it's incredible and it's interesting. And as an adult, I can't sit through anything. The sleep is it's powerful.
And Shrek. It is the Joy Division movie.
Is that the Joy? Is it?
Yeah.
It is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean,
right.
Joy Division is a big chunk of it.
I got a barky boy.
Oh, I love that barky boy. Joy Division is like the middle of it, but then it's also the entire history of Factory Records and like New Order, Blue Monday, Happy Mondays, the complete and total. There's a very good scene where they record the drums for the Joy Division record. And the hostage situation is quite real there.
Tell me more.
Oh, they made the dude take apart his entire drum kit, like every single nut and bolt, and because he was playing something that, Hannah is a nutter, but it's kind of what you need. Like, you kind of need it. Disassemble everything and reassemble it on the roof of the recording studio and play something that isn't the fucking same thing as every other record in existence.
You have told me that story before. That's so good.
It is good.
I mean, it's insane, but I love stuff like that. Like, I also think, I know it's like insane and maybe a little abusive, but I think it's how like innovation happens. Maybe that's a controversial Atonuv thought, but
That's a.
I think that you need a little spice. Um,
I think if, like in 2021, what you would ideally do is hire someone and give consent for them to be.
yes, there should be consent to what will unfold.
Yes. And
And we've talked about this as our personal recording strategy because I mean we mix and master and record people at the Detroit studio and the Woods location up north, and we've talked about how I mean how we can shift our process to being a little more
psychological.
psychological. Exactly. Okay. Yeah, that's the and how to do that in a way that is yeah, it almost has a safe word, like is
Flange.
consent over a what? What'd you say?
Flange.
Yes.
My recording safe word is flange.
That's the stop.
Uh-huh. But
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that like in the golden era of recording, there was way more attention paid to the mindset and the psychology of making the recording. Like, what is the intention
Absolutely.
behind it? And, like, to a degree, it's deliberately manipulative. And then even within these, then we have like the very extreme, like kind of like fuck Phil Spector forever, like the like bang bang golden age of recording, like 1960 to 1998. It's pretty long.
Pretty much, yeah, I would say like, yeah, pretty much from like ending around Napster age, right? When we kind of put those together as a and not to be like because I guess I've said this before on the podcast on whatever this is podcast, a ton of thoughts, Twitch live, that I don't mean like in because I'm pretty pro digital world.
Yeah, that's
To
fine.
many's dismay, I'm not saying because of the digital revolution. It's more like the digital revolution led to side effects that everything needs to be pumped out faster, more polished, and is super accessible for anyone. And there's greatness to that, but it also leads to, I guess, yeah, an entirely different mindset as to how to make a good record and significantly less psychological
Because I want to like
about how it makes you feel.
like I mean the Carole King stuff and or like Joni Mitchell, like you can feel like a good like breakup album, like those are
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, I've seen Sound City a bunch of times actually. I was working at a recording studio once that would have that on loop in the lobby, and so I
yeah,
saw like an
old
absurd amount
dudes
of
sure
times.
do like it.
But it is a good
It's
documentary,
good.
and yeah, I guess how do you bring kind of that psychological aspect into this day and age? And we have joked like hire us hire us both to record your band, but also to bring out something like how do you tell people I want to bring out something that you wouldn't access
I
otherwise and
want
it might
to
be
like
uncomfortable. Like I want everyone to feel uncomfortable in a way that makes you grow in the
right.
process.
What I would like to do is have your consent to basically try to bring out your inner demons that you've been ignoring for 15 years, and that
Mhm.
then we can
And
tap into
record the
those.
process.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we need to have those forms written out.
By a
Get our
lawyer.
lawyer friend to look them over. How do we get consent to make someone it's like I
Psychologically
mean
break.
psychologically break, but also in like almost a like hopefully therapeutic way. I don't want to send
There would be
anyone to the
catharsis.
hospital.
Because
Yeah,
it is.
exactly. It resolve a catharsis at the end, but the process isn't going to feel good. But it
No,
shouldn't
feel
feel
bad.
good. And I guess that back to refining versus redefining. I think redefining yourself feels good, and refining yourself never feels good.
Right. Well, redefining yourself is the gratification. It is the catharsis.
Mm-hmm.
And practice, repetition, refining is inherently miserable.
Yeah. Heckle me into growth. Yeah, absolutely. I guess like heckling with love is like sort of a, because like I don't think just like pure heckling, like I don't think bullying is good. I don't think that, but I think there's like a way to heckle with love. And that's something that's a skill within itself, because I've definitely pushed people, not push people enough, and they never grow. And
True.
I mean, there's specific people I can think of with that, where I was very gentle for years with them, and
Uh-huh.
uh, I should have pushed them, and they never grew. And it wouldn't, me pushing them wouldn't have necessarily made them grow, but me not pushing them was coddling, and it didn't
It's
help.
more like a system of not pushing, and you were just one cog in the not pushing machine.
Right. But I take responsibility for my cogness in the machine. Like in retrospect, in that one specific situation that we're both thinking of. What's the jazz term? Oh, I don't know.
Yeah,
Vibing.
vibing.
Isn't vibing good?
No, you can do it. You can throw out a bad vibe.
Oh. I
I
don't
don't
want to
know.
do
The
that.
only
Good vibes
jazz.
only. My mom has a sign that says good vibes only, and I'm like, really?
Yeah, that's really, mother.
I'm
Um.
like, we're that house now? It's a recent sign.
Oh, new sign. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, entirely unrelated. We don't just a moment, because everyone liked, I mean, it became the name of the last episode, Fayrell and the Two Robots. I thought I would, for a moment, tell an entirely unrelated, hilarious my mom
Please
story.
tell us about your mother.
Um, so recently I was home, as I said. And my dad has been really, I'm pretty into, science and stuff, and my dad is where I get more of that inclination. Both my parents are very musical, that's their main thing, but anyway, my dad has been really into keeping up with stuff going on with the Mars rover, and like NASA updates and all that, and he was excited to try to talk to me about it. And I honestly, I haven't been that up to date recently, but he was like, have you seen the pictures of the rocks and stuff, and like blah blah blah, and he was really excited to have someone to talk to about it. And I was like, we were going over it, and he said, I've tried to talk to your mom about this. And I was trying to explain about the pictures and the rocks, and like how incredible it was, and trying to show her. And she was like, so she started asking these questions that didn't make sense to me. And she's asking about the rocks and bringing the rocks, and I'm like, what are you talking about? Do you think we brought rocks to Mars? And she was like, yeah. What? I thought that's what you're showing me, the pictures with the rocks. I don't know. You're really proud about the rocks on Mars. And so he's like, well, no, we're bringing rocks back from Mars to look. We're trying to look at the, yes, the NASA conspiracy to plant rocks on Mars. So yeah, so we were just laughing like uncontrollably, thinking about like, the spaceship was going to launch, and they have to stop because the rocks were weighing too much. And we brought too many rocks on the journey to drop off on Mars. Like, she was like, we were like, you think we're going to like, we're going to look back at these rocks and say, uh, oh, did someone touch them? And she was like, yeah, I kind of thought like, you check back in on the rocks, you see if they changed, what's going on under that atmosphere. Did anyone move the rocks? Has anyone checked in on these rocks? Did they fall over? I don't know.
The deep state
Anyway,
is planting
that was
rocks as traps for the Martians.
that was a new hilarious occurrence of my mom's understanding of the Mars mission and what we were doing with rocks.
Universe at large. That's wonderful.
Yeah, I thought it was close to a Fayrell and the Two Robots
It's
moment.
pretty close. Pretty good. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good.
Anyway, what were we actually talking about a moment ago?
Oof. Let's see.
Sorry, I got
So
really off topic. Redefining, refining. Easier, harder to do one.
you're a part of the cog in the machine.
Oh, of being too easy on a friend or being too hard. Yes, when you're trying to psychologically break people in a beneficial way. And I guess and I guess this specific person was sort of the start of this thought. We were both like we both were complicit in being nice to someone that what is the line when being nice is actually hurting them because you are encouraging behaviors that are objectively bad.
And then there are the personal behaviors, but then how this like turns into also like you're in a recording session and it's like, yo, you're playing too many notes without intention behind each of those notes that you play.
Mm-hmm.
And like that, but the thing is that in order to, because that's a situation all the time, like in a session, like, yo, too many notes.
And it shouldn't be a personal issue.
It shouldn't be
You know,
personal, but it also is personal because the
right.
reason you're
Because
playing,
everyone has an ego involved to some degree in everything.
you're playing
And
too.
sometimes people make comments like you're playing too many notes when they don't actually think that. They're just trying to insert their ego. So there's this weird, battle of defensiveness sometimes in these artistic situations.
And in this, so specifically in this artistic situation, like say that, you're playing too many notes. Okay. Like that is like that is a note that like a professor would give, like
Right.
it's too busy or whatever. But the deeper psychological thing is you are playing too many notes because you're trying to prove something to yourself or to others. And if you can't get past that psychologically, like even if you just sad puppy dogged went like boonk boonk, I'll play less notes then, which
Mm-hmm.
we've seen this happen. Like when that note
Yes.
is delivered, if there isn't like a psychological refinement of I am going to reorient how I feel about my position in the world and then within this musical context, and then I will then pick fewer notes but say more with more intention. That's going to have to be a psychological shift that comes from the root rather than just like you can't just go like, hey, play less notes with more intention, dude. It won't mean anything. It'll just be like you'll just be hangdogging yourself of going like, they told me to play less notes. They don't get me. They don't know me. They don't know what I'm bringing to the table. And without like fixing someone's brain, you won't actually get a
Right.
better performance.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and that's kind of what we are trying to focus on with I mean a ton of outside of just the stream as far as like being a mixing and mastering of and recording people's bands. Uh yeah, the how do you get people that you might not even know that well, like with this specific situation that we keep referring to, we knew this person very well. But like um you know, you might just meet this band, you might know one person in the band, and how do you, because you need someone's trust to be able to um, change how they think about things, or get them to reconsider, or kind of lead them down a psychological experiment. Or, I mean, maybe you don't. We've thought about all of the different kinds. We've thought about all of the possibilities of like, I mean, I guess this kind of got brought up because I was joking about being blindfolded in the woods. But we've talked about literally doing stuff like that again with people's consent ahead of time,
With
um,
consent.
to and tailoring what exactly the experiment is to the problem, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Yes. So there's a
laser.
lot of laser beam. Yeah, the emote wall is. Let me try to make the emote wall happen.
What
So
is
that
what is this?
uh
What
so
are
there's that, and then
those?
also yes, just putting in sections in music to flex on people is dumb. Absolutely, I agree. Uh,
Yeah, like complicated for complicated sake.
Fast Rider,
Without
thanks for the
saying
sub.
anything. I mean, I think that's a lot of what what is out there these days. Or yeah,
Okay,
or
numpad, hit Summer
otherwise.
with those lasers.
I'm waiting for these lasers.
Yeah, Fast Rider,
Lasers.
you've
Lasers.
you've come in at so a ton of thoughts. We do this every Wednesday, and then every other day I'm here doing mix feedback for folks. So you're the first. I
I
think
just
that you're.
ruin this stream
Uh
on
huh.
this one specific time.
You're
I'm
the first
sorry.
person to be like, I love a ton of thoughts. So thank you very much. Welcome to this part of the thing. Oh, they've been following. They've been lurking a little. Good stalking forth. There we go.
Oh, what's happening here?
That's an emote wall.
I can't see that well, so I have to get close to the screen. Wait, who's the lasers?
Oh, that's me.
That's you?
Yeah, that's me shooting lasers out of my eyes.
That's you? All right. I'll take your word for it. Kind of looks like a tiny turkey. Okay, so you can what's the cracker picture?
Let me pull up the clip.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like I'm missing out on some core information. Not that I'm not enjoying the turkey Scott lasers with context, because I truly am. I like to keep getting close to check this out and try to see how that is Scott, because it seriously looks like a tiny turkey to me, like a bunch of tiny turkeys.
All right, so we're pulling up this clip. So
Is that your spirit animal?
we've
If you
got
were to have
like
a spirit animal,
we've got
tiny turkey.
intense audio engineering uh on the stream regularly. We've got a ton of thoughts on Wednesdays, and then the last little bit we've been diving into we've been diving into boomer video gaming. So here is the clip that this emote came from, so Summer could be all up on the local memes.
Tryptophan.
Please stop. All right, miss. Come on.
I get it. I get it. I've become one.
Wait, I can't see it. I'm in the way of it.
Oh, did I fuck this up?
I'm directly in front of your clip.
Did I just did I boomer?
You boomered.
I boomered.
You boomered.
I'm not a cat. Okay. Here we go.
All right, miss. Come on.
I get it. I get it. I've become one. I have bonded with my inner cracker. I feel it. I feel this guy's vibe. And then Numpad clipped that, had some lasers shoot out of the eyes, and that
Amazing.
emote, and then
And that's how it became.
the cracker
What a
emote has been
backstory.
born.
What game is that?
It's BioShock Infinite. It's like 12 years old.
Nice, nice.
Yes, Fourth did clip it. Credit to Fourth. This was a team effort.
Amazing. Laser eyes. Laser eyes, tiny turkey. Very good. Yeah, right? It looks like something else. A Sasquatch eating with giant chopsticks.
That's awesome.
Many ways to interpret this emoji.
Oh, Fourth. No, I'm sorry. Numpad clipped it out of the clip. Did the thing. I'm sorry. I don't want to leave anyone hanging. I feel bad. Fourth is a good clipper. Oh, speaking of refining.
Good clipper, but hopefully not clipping.
Right. No. Fourth never clips now.
That's exciting.
It's
Good
very
job.
good.
Is that what you're speaking of refinement?
Well,
Or what was
no.
speaking of
So before you came on, I was starting to work on the interview edits.
Oh, that we're about to.
It's very
dive in.
boring.
Are you sure?
It's very, very boring.
Have you told? I mean, so we're about to work on these interview edits for a gig that's going to be probably several days long of working on this, right?
Uh-huh.
And we decided we'd make it more fun by working on it at the same time instead of spreading the work between the two of us. But it is very boring. I think we'll make it fun.
Well, here's how I was making it fun earlier, because I'm just cleaning. I could just go and find like a little segment of it and loop it.
The other actor, they came back from them being from California, where they remember his name. The other actor, they came back from them being from California, where they remember his name. The other actor,
And then I can drop a numpad beat under it.
California, where they
Heck
remember
yeah.
his name. The other actor, they came back from them being from California, where they remember his name. The other actor, they came back from them being from California, where they remember his name. The other actor, they came back from them being from California, where they remember his name. The other actor, they came back from them being from California, where they remember his name. The other actor, they came back from them being from California, where they remember his name. The other actor,
Like,
they
that
came
kinda
back
slaps.
from them being
Spice it up.
from California, where they remember his name.
I mean, the end goal deliverable is for us to just do something creative. So there we go.
Oh, so you want to send the remixes?
No,
This is like a serious, technically, job.
it is technically quite
But-
serious.
We could be cute. We could send some remixes and see if we ever get a call again. Are
No.
all of the emojis? No, these are different. These
These-
are just emojis, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so far we
Every
only
emoji is themed, or sometimes.
we have a Guinness emoji and me shooting lasers emoji. There's going to be a Guinness shooting lasers emoji. And
Can I see the Guinness emoji?
yeah, the Guinness emoji looks like this.
What about Mercury? You gotta give her an emoji.
So Mercury only shows her butthole on the stream. Yeah, there's a little Guinnesses.
Mercury only shows her butthole on the stream.
Yeah, so
I mean, from my experience, Guinness only shows his butthole on the stream, so I don't
Right.
know about
I
that.
guess it's-
I'm gonna have to advocate for Mercury and say there's been mainly Guinness butthole for my sample size.
so I guess that this is like a quantum state.
Mm-hmm.
Like you've
on.
only observed Guinness.
So I changed the reality of Mercury's butthole by observing it became Guinness's butthole.
Correct.
All right. That will pass. I'm wrong about the butthole state, or which am I wrong about? I've said a lot of things that I'm probably wrong about in this last hour.
All right, call Summer out.
Mercury butthole is greater than gaining butthole. In size or in amount or
In
what are we
prevalence,
measuring here?
in ratio of time spent on screen.
Oh, that's because she's watching dog TV.
She's watching dog TV. She doesn't want to get involved in the stream at all.
Mhm.
And when she does get involved on stream,
She flashes a little booty. Look, she spends all day,
she's been
entertaining
influenced by the media.
Yeah, she's been watching stuff. What do you expect? We emulate what we see. She's been on the internet, and you know how the internet is about butthole.
I'm familiar. Huh.
What's the next emoji? What's the next iteration? Has Turtle made an appearance?
Turtle emoji would
Because-
be good.
Because Turtle is, he's kind of like he doesn't get the respect he deserves.
Well,
He's
will.
a hardworking actor. He's starred in one of our music videos that is going to come out. He is, he's a brave guy. He walked around in terrain for the camera. He really moved it when he was asked to. He's a star. He's a complicated personality. He gets moody. I know. I've been around Turtle when he's moody, and he is,
He
but
levied
all great artists have swings.
He wanted more adventurous shots than we were originally putting out there.
That is accurate. Yeah, he was really ready to take risks. And sometimes we were like, Turtle, are you sure about this? Do you want us to get you a stunt double? Do you want us to get you a fake turtle? And he was like, no, I'm the turtle. Here I go. And we'd be like, oh no, he's going, And
I mean,
he went.
He's a real Tom Cruise. He does his own
Yes.
stunts, and
He does his own stunts.
and he's 6 inches tall. So exactly the same.
What is Turtle's thoughts on Scientology? I mean, we did make him watch the Leah Remini.
We tried to deprogram him.
Series.
We
really
did our
tried to
absolute
deprogram
best.
him, but as Leah says, you just have to be there for them when they're ready. So
He's not ready.
Maybe one day Turtle will be ready to come out of his shell.
I mean, he's been actively blowing, we paid him handsomely for his starring role, but he's just been clearing OT bridge after OT bridge. He's in it.
And sometimes we're like, Turtle, you live on land now. And he's like, I want to go to the Sea Org. I want to be back. I want to go to the sea. And we're like, Turtle, you were never a sea turtle. That's not your kind of turtle. And he's like, but LRH, man. In so many words, he's a turtle.
But he's refining himself.
Yeah, it's a process. Can he mix, though? Can he mix too? I don't think he can hear. Didn't we confirm that?
No, the lizard
No, that was ants. That was several episodes ago. We talked about ants. I don't know about turtles hearing. Do you know?
Turtles can hear.
We know that the lizard can't hear because you were afraid at first about having the lizard in a loud environment, and then it was like, nah, the lizard's good. What about Turtle, though?
Turtle can hear.
Turtle can hear. Okay, well, we're going to have to
get him little
be
gun
careful
muffs.
With Turtle when we got to get him little over ears. Got to preserve that turtle sensibility.
Let's see.
What is the turtle's hearing range? Is this how every episode is going to devolve into just questions about animals hearing?
Yeah, I'm thinking. You look up what turtles' hearing ranges are, and I'm going to pull up a still from the video so that everyone can see this cute boy.
Oh yeah, you got to know who the turtle is.
I mean, we've been talking him up.
$200 to 750 hertz.
Damn, that's not very.
Allturtles.com.
200 to 750?
Wait, hold on. We got more. Yeah. Wait,
That's
we're
pretty
taking-
limited.
Yeah, that's the range. They don't respond to sounds above 1,000. So maybe there's like, you know how we have like to 20,000, but like if you're old, not, you know.
Yeah.
So maybe like youthful turtles
Can
can
go
get
to
up to
1,000.
1,000. Yeah.
Still, they've only got like an
Although, green sea turtles have way more sensitive hearing, and they can go from
Oh, also he's a tortoise, not a turtle. We just always call him a turtle because we're
right. It's a whole thing. It's actually like the joke of the music video is that he's a tortoise, not a turtle. There's a whole thing about the tortoise.
there is a
turtle.
whole thing.
He's a tortoise. We know he's a tortoise. We call him a turtle. It's like a a little cute like game we play with the turtle. We're like, you're a turtle, and he's like, I'm a tortoise. He's very aware of this game. You're pulling up a part of the music video, or
I was gonna pull up just like a still.
okay, cool.
I wasn't gonna leak.
I mean, we could. Unfortunately, we're still waiting for our buddy who is going to be doing some animation on it, or else we could leak a little bit of it. But the turtle needs to be involved in some activities that only animation can achieve because, turtle acting can only go so far.
How is what a fun game? Fourth, what's not a fun game? Turtle Step sounds awesome.
Turtle versus tortoise. That game, I think,
Oh.
the reference. How is that a fun game? It's it's just like it's like a little like teasing game. Like you're like you're this, and you're like you're not this, but the turtle doesn't answer. He's just like it's really a game for us.
Let's I'm gonna play like the first 7 seconds of this video so that you can see this turtle.
Okay.
This tortoise.
Day, year, month, start, day.
That's a tortoise. Wait, what have I missed in my intense research?
Yeah, is there do we have
There more? I'm not known for my skimming abilities.
Are we totally off on this limited hearing range of turtles/tortoises? Well,
I saw that the best part of the hearing range for green sea turtles was 200 to 500 hertz, but the general seemed like it was 200 to 750. But
well,
I mean,
and then
I'm just a lowly scroller.
the experience of sound is going to be different underwater than on land.
As we talked about, making music for underwater.
Did you ever send an email to the bug guy?
I haven't emailed the bug guy. I got distracted with, as I talked about on the last episode, the hot tub saga, which is ongoing, let me tell you. But we're not going to get into it. We're not.
That's a separate philosophical concept.
It's a separate concept, and it's still happening, It's trials and tribulations, and I guess, but to relate that concept without ever talking about hot tubs ever again, to relate the concept, though, it is about refining to the goal,
because
which maybe wasn't redefining, but refining in that it was like it's continuously working at a thing that doesn't seem to reward for a long time.
But there will be a point at which you have this hot tub, at which point you could say that you have redefined yourself as a person with a hot tub. Which the difference between getting the Craigslist hot tub that is broken and going through the fine refining process of dealing with getting a hot tub that is functional and shipped and dealing with the truck and all of that is that you went for the quick redefinition of like, I am
We
a
have a hot
person
tub.
with hot
Yes.
tub, but I
And it was
have
like,
not.
yes, there's a hot tub on your property. It doesn't mean you have a hot tub.
Right. You have to refine and work for a proper hot tub to properly redefine yourself as a person with a hot tub.
Absolutely.
But if you were just saying like, yo, we should get a hot tub, right? Like, hey everybody, like hot tub's a cool idea, right? Like, ooh, like let's maybe like make a little like a penny jar, and like every single time I say fuck, I'm gonna put a penny in the hot tub jar, and then eventually
You say a penny in the hot tub, and now it's just like a fountain of pennies. Sorry, go.
Eventually that's gonna mean that I'm gonna have the hot tub, that I will become hot tub person, and maybe I'll get like a promotion to like middle management at Hot Tub Academy. And everyone's saying that I'm doing a really good job, and that's awesome. And I'm just on that grindstone, just on that treadmill. I'm just doing it. You might not ever reach the redefining point. Right?
Wait, so it might never happen? Is that what
It might never happen without the intention to distinctly redefine.
So I guess that would be without saying that I want a hot tub, but just saying like I'm gonna put these pennies in a place and something's gonna happen one day with him.
Yeah, I mean it could be a hot tub collection penny jar.
Right, but that has a goal.
That has a goal, but if your intentions aren't clear and defined,
you'll spend it on pizza once it reaches $5.
Yeah, right. Yes, so you have to have that discipline to not sidetrack to pizza, but to stay on that highway to hot dog.
Let me tell you, it is pretty hard to not sidetrack to pizza. Highway to hot dog?
Highway to hot dog, bro.
Beautiful. Beautifully said. Beautifully said. All right. I mean, is that our ton of thoughts for the day? We haven't gone that late, but I think that's a pretty solid apart the idea of redefining versus refining. Oh, and I froze.
You're back.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Do you have any closing comments on the
I feel like that was a really thorough dissection of the concept. I kind of feel like, speaking of refining, I feel like we did better today. Fourth, do you just want like some bullet point summary of everything that's transpired in the last hour and a half? I think that should be easy to do because this is just really well thought out. I mean, we've got thesis, supporting statements.
Yeah, I think some people got lost at hot tub, some people got lost at summer, some people got lost at defining. So we need to define defining, and I think that'll really help everyone kind of figure out where we're at.
We talked about Joy Division. We talked about Jazz Boys. We talked about pooping our pants.
Hot Dog Highway might be the name of this episode.
It's probably going to be called Hot Dog Highway. I'll work in,
you always get the name towards the end. You come up with some, yeah.
I was pretty proud of last week's, which if you want to check it out, there's the Atonuv Streaming YouTube page, and I post these on there. Last week we had Do Fayrell and the Two Robots Dream of Electric Hot Dog, which if you sit through the 2 hours of bullshit, you're like, damn, that's a good title.
Yeah, you really got to get to the end, and then you'll be like, wow, it was really worth it to understand this title.
Which
That's why we come up with the titles at the end.
it also ties into the whole point of the whole thing, because it's all about the journey, and you have to go through the journey, and that's what's satisfying.
And that's what the hot dog highway is all about.
That's what the hot dog highway is all about.
Oh, man. All right. I mean,
3-hour videos. Watch it to the end. Soak up every single bit of content. Like, comment, subscribe.
as above.
So
like
like, comment, and subscribe below.
Stolen from Evan.
Yep. Damn, crushed it. I think that we have
All right.
left no stone
I'm
unturned.
To go take some pictures of our emo pop punk band we have started out of quarantine boredom. So
Cool.
have fun all. I'm sure you're gonna go back to reviewing some mixes.
We'll go back to the serious work that happens here.
Very serious work. I come in Wednesdays for Hot Dog Highway. I leave you not wanting more. What is that, baby?
That was a baby.
I like these surprises. I never know what's coming with the emojis. Can I
There's
make
a lot.
emojis?
Yeah, I mean, you're logged into Twitch, right?
I think so. How do I like upload a? All right, then we'll do this boomer stuff off stream.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Bye, everybody.
Yes, we have only good takes here. All right.
Bye.
Cool. Well, we're back. So, Numpad, I know you sent in something. If you're still here, I will take a listen. Well, those are fun for me, for sure. So,